Today we are going to dive into one of the most fascinating and extraordinary stories in the world of rare United States coins. We are talking about the Washington $quarter coin, minted between the year 1788 and the year 2000 with the D mint mark, and the unbelievable fact that its current market value has soared to a staggering $91 million. This coin is not just a piece of change, it is a piece of American history, a piece of craftsmanship, and a symbol of how small everyday items can carry immense historical and financial value. So sit back, relax, and let's explore everything you need to know about this rare Washington quarter, its background, why it has become so incredibly valuable, and what it means for collectors, investors, and ordinary people who might just stumble upon one without even realizing what they have in their pocket. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932. Originally designed to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The design was created by John Flanagan and quickly became one of the most recognizable pieces of American coinage. Over the years, the Washington quarter underwent changes, both in design and in the metals used. In its earliest years, these coins were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But by 1965 the U.S. Mint shifted to a copper-nickel-clad composition to reduce production costs. But the $quarter coin we are discussing today, carrying the D Mint mark and spanning from 1788 to 2000, represents a very special chapter in coin collecting. Now you might be asking yourself, how can a quarter, a coin with a face value of just 25 cents, end up being worth $91 million in today's market? The answer lies in rarity, condition, minting errors, historical significance, and above all, demand from collectors. Rarity is the driving force behind almost all high-value coins. If a coin exists in very limited numbers, especially in pristine or uncirculated condition, its value can skyrocket beyond belief. For the Washington quarter we are focusing on, examples minted with the D mint mark during this range carry unique variations and in some cases minting anomalies that separate them from ordinary quarters. These differences may be almost invisible to the casual eye, but for coin graders and professional numismatists, they make all the difference in determining a coin's ultimate value. The year range 1788 to 2000 also connects with the U.S. State Quarters program, which started in 1999 and ran through 2008. Each state was honored with its own design on the reverse side of the quarter. The year 1788 is significant because many U.S. states ratified the Constitution in that year, and therefore, the quarters released later with 1788 as a featured date hold immense symbolic and historical meaning. This connection has made certain versions of the D Mint mark Washington quarter incredibly sought after. Collectors crave coins that connect history, patriotism, and artistry, and the Washington quarter delivers on all three. Another factor that elevates the value of this coin is its condition. Coin grading is performed by professional organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, better known as PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Company, or NGC. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless coin. A Washington quarter from the 1788 to 2000 period that is graded near the top of this scale, especially if it is uncirculated or proof-struck, becomes a treasure worth unimaginable amounts. When you add a mint mark like D, representing the Denver Mint, and combine it with specific die variations, doubling, striking errors, or even unique planchet errors, you end up with a coin that collectors are willing to pay millions to obtain. The current market value of $91 million for one of these coins is a reflection not just of rarity, but of fierce competition among wealthy collectors. Imagine having something in your collection that virtually no one else on earth possesses. The bragging rights, the prestige, and the sense of ownership over a piece of American heritage is what drives collectors to bid astronomical sums. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have seen record-breaking sales in recent years, with rare quarters reaching higher and higher prices as demand continues to surge. The Washington quarter with the D Mint mark from this historical span has now achieved legendary status, standing alongside other famous coins like the 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle and the 1804 draped bust silver dollar. So what makes these coins so visually and historically appealing? On the obverse, or front side, you find the familiar portrait of George Washington. His profile facing left, with the word Liberty above and the motto In God We Trust, has become an iconic image that is recognized across the nation and beyond. The reverse, depending on the year, either features the majestic eagle with outstretched wings or, in later years, the special state quarter designs that celebrated the uniqueness of each U.S. state. Having the D Mint mark placed carefully near the design elements adds another layer of identity, letting collectors trace its origins back to the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint itself has a long and proud history of producing coins for circulation. Established in 1906, it quickly became one of the most important mints in the United States. Coins with the D Mint mark often carry a reputation for strong strikes and consistent quality. But what excites collectors most are the anomalies and quirks that sometimes escape quality control. Double die strikes, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and other minting oddities can turn a common coin into a one-of-a-kind rarity worth fortunes. Imagine stumbling across one of these in your pocket change, not realizing that what you're holding is not just 25 cents but potentially a coin valued at tens of millions of dollars. When we talk about value, it's important to remember that not all Washington quarters from 1788 to 2000 with a D Mint mark are worth $91 million. Value depends heavily on condition, rarity, and demand. A worn coin with heavy circulation may only be worth its face value, while an uncirculated gem with a rare error or variation can be worth an unimaginable fortune. This is why coin grading, authentication, and careful evaluation are so critical in the world of numismatics. Now let's imagine how a sale of such a coin might unfold. Picture a packed auction room, collectors from around the world gathered with anticipation. The auctioneer holds up the quarter, describing its rarity, its flawless condition, its historical significance. Bidding begins at a few $1 million, quickly climbing higher as collectors battle it out. 5 million, 10 million, 20 million. The numbers keep rising, and the tension in the room builds. At last, after an intense bidding war, the hammer falls at $91 million. The crowd erupts in applause. A new record has been set, and the Washington quarter has secured its place among the most valuable coins in history. For everyday people, the story of this coin is both inspiring and exciting. It proves that treasures can be hiding in plain sight. A simple coin in your drawer, a piece of change you receive at the grocery store, or an old jar of coins sitting in the attic could contain a fortune. This is why so many people have taken up coin collecting, not just as a hobby but as a serious investment. The thrill of the hunt, the possibility of finding something incredibly rare, and the joy of holding a piece of history in your hands make numismatics one of the most rewarding passions you can pursue. If you're wondering how to identify if you might have one of these rare Washington quarters, the first step is to check the mint mark. Look for the D, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. Next, pay attention to the date and design details. Compare your coin to trusted guides, numismatic references, or seek out the opinion of professional graders. Sometimes it is the smallest detail, such as a slight doubling on the lettering, a shift in the strike, or an unusual texture on the coin's surface, that reveals you're holding something extraordinary. Collectors and investors alike understand that the coin market is influenced by more than just rarity. Historical context, public demand, cultural significance, and even media attention can all play a role in skyrocketing values. The story of George Washington, the first president and a founding father, only enhances the appeal of the Washington quarter. His leadership, his legacy, and his role in shaping America resonate with collectors, making coins that bear his image even more cherished. The $91 million Washington quarter is not just a piece of currency. It is a time capsule. It tells the story of America's growth, its struggles, its triumphs, and its people. It connects us to the past while holding immense value in the present. And for the lucky collector who owns it, it represents not just wealth but history, pride, and a connection to something far greater than themselves. So the next time you come across a Washington quarter, don't dismiss it as just spare change. Take a closer look. Examine the details, check the mint mark, study the date, and appreciate the artistry that went into creating it.